Welcome to Tomes and Tales. Today's story delves into Welsh folklore. When I was a child, I used to go on vacations with my family to the Isle of Anglesey. This is an island off the northwest coast of Wales in the UK. It's on the Irish Sea. And it's very popular with families. There were resorts there on the coast, on the beach. And you could go and explore caves. It was very bracing, the wind coming from the Irish Sea, but it was a really dramatic setting and a great place to go as a kid especially. One of the things I used to enjoy doing every day was taking a stroll along the beach, skimming stones, and there's a particular cave I used to go and look at. I was kind of scared of it, I never went inside it, this huge dark place, but I used to walk there, take in the sea breeze, see all the crabs going around the rocks, and then go back to where we were staying. So one day I was having my stroll along the beach, and as I'm walking along the sand I could see the cave in the distance, the sea breezes coming in, and there was a girl sat on the sand, and she was looking out into the sea, and she got my attention straight away. She was on her own, and there was no one else around. It was pretty cold. You'd have a few people walking their dogs and stuff, but today it was really quiet. And she stood out to me because she had long, dark green hair, and she had this red hat on, like a cap. So as I got closer to her, I'm like, hang on, this person's got green hair. That's cool, straight away. I hadn't seen anyone in real life who had that, only on TV and stuff. So I get a bit closer, and I could see that she was wet, her hair was wet and her clothes were wet, and she was kind of rocking back and forth a little bit, just staring out to the sea. I was still very young and very shy, so as I got closer to her I just muttered her, "Oh, hello," and she didn't respond. And as I just got alongside her I kind of glanced down and I could see that she was really upset. She'd been crying, and it did alarm me. I didn't really know what to do, so I just kept going to the cave. Thought nothing of it, And then, did my usual thing, skimming the stones, and then made my way back. So on this particular vacation, I was with my aunt and uncle and my cousin. So I'm telling my aunt all about it. And I was saying, this girl, she was really upset. So my aunt said, well, she's probably just had some kind of falling out with her friends or her family and has gone to the beach just to clear her head. So I thought, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So I carry on doing my daily routine, and a few days later I'm heading down the beach and I see the girl again, but this time she's actually in the water, and there's a woman with her who also has long dark green hair, and they're struggling and they're shouting and the girl's screaming. And I was really scared. I thought, I don't want to get any closer. So I stopped, and I was kind of frozen on the spot really. And eventually the woman, I could see she was stopping the girl from going deeper into the water, and she dragged her out and dragged her back onto the sand. And I could listen, a bit. I managed to listen a bit more closely, and I heard her say, "No, you can't go, we can't go back, we cannot go back there." And the girl was like screaming and wrestling, and I thought, you know what, I'm going home. So I turned around and took off. So again, I tell my auntie about it, and she says, that doesn't sound very good. So she tried to take my mind off it. She could tell it had really rattled me, and it's not an ideal situation on a family vacation. So later that evening, our family went to a local pub. It's a fisherman's pub overlooking the sea, great atmosphere, really nice dinner. And she's telling my uncle, he's catching up with us, so she's telling him the story that I told her. And an old guy at the bar overhears us and just shouts into the conversation, "Oh, that's the Morgans, that's the Morgans." And my auntie said, "Oh, you know them?" And he said, no, that's not their name, they're Mermaids, sea people. And my auntie just gives him a look, and he said, you people, mermaids, they live in the sea. So my auntie starts laughing at him. She's like, "Oh, go away," And he said, that's the boy, and he pointed at me. He said the boy saw them. He said that's what's happening. He said they live on the land, but they're always trying to get back to where they came from. The girl was just trying to go home. So my aunt says to him, shut up, mind your own business. And he says, okay, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. And he looks over at me and he says, you just as well you didn't go in the water with them, lad. They would have lured you right down to the bottom. Yeah, great, thank you. So that was the end of that conversation. My auntie told him off. Now, of course, I was very rattled by all of this. Not the thing you want to hear when you're a kid on vacation. The situation had been strange enough anyway. I didn't like seeing arguments and all the fights, and the girl was clearly upset. They did both look kind of strange. I don't buy into his explanation necessarily. That's a big pill to swallow. But it's always stayed in my mind, that story, that encounter. But what I will say is, truth be told, I never saw the girl again. But then again, I never went back to that end of the beach again either. So let me know if you like that tale. Leave a comment. Let me know if you've had a similar encounter or heard a similar story somewhere else. And if you really enjoyed this, do like and subscribe, and I'll be back with another tale.